So, you've narrowed down your list of job applicants, you've set up the interviews, you've contacted the references, yet you still can't decide who to hire. You see, the thing about hiring a virtual employee is that, with so many talented people to choose from, it's difficult to decide whom you should welcome into your company. If you can't make up your mind, maybe this video can help you. Here's what to look for when hiring awesome employees. So, outsourcing is the solution, not the problem. While having too many job applicants comes with its own set of challenges, it's definitely a more pleasant problem to have than having no options at all. Say you're starting a business in a small town with very few software developers. With the technology that we have today, you are not limited to finding a developer just in your neighborhood. All you have to do is log on to your computer, post a job ad, and wait for the job applications to come pouring in. Outsourcing gives you the option of hiring awesome employees from anywhere in the world. It's an intelligent strategy that does more than diversify the job market. According to a Stanford study, it also, 1, makes employees happier and more productive, 2, encourages employees to stay with the company, 3, reduces cost by up to $2,000 per employee. That said, combing through dozens of job applications can still be a chore. But that's what this video is for. Once your job applicants have proven that they have the skills necessary to work for you, then it's time to see if they have what it takes to be an employee worth hiring. So, the recipe for hiring awesome employees. So, what makes a good employee? We usually think of a good employee as someone who has the skills necessary to perform their job and deliver results in a timely manner. The thing is, an employee like that is not difficult to find. There are hundreds of qualified job seekers across dozens of job boards. Onlinejobs.ph, for instance, has over 1 million resumes for you to browse through. The real challenge is finding an employee you'll love working with. We've studied what different entrepreneurs look for when it comes to hiring remote workers. We've then grouped these traits into 3 main qualities. Here's what to look for when hiring awesome employees. Number 1, self-motivation. Different job seekers have different motivations for applying to your company. Their primary motivation is, of course, to earn a living. Their secondary motivations are more diverse. Some may want to expand their portfolio, while others may be attracted to the niche of your business. Whatever their secondary motivation is, it should matter to you. Hiring someone whose only motivation is to get paid may not be enough, at least not if you're looking for a long-term working relationship, or if you want an employee that goes above and beyond what's expected of them. It's better to hire an employee who wants to gain meaningful experience or who genuinely finds joy in their tasks. Ideally, you want to hire someone who believes in your business's mission. This way, they're inspired to be the best at their job that they can be. 1. Work ethic and motivation. An employee who loves their job won't do anything to risk losing that job. They will meet all their deadlines, communicate properly, and actively try to fit in with your company culture. Hire an employee who values results. Working remotely means you can't keep an eye on your employees all the time. You'll need an employee who will strive to meet the goals you've set for them. Also, you will want to make sure your virtual employee is comfortable using time tracking software. Personally, I use WorkSnaps. It is very inexpensive and does a fabulous job of tracking hours, measuring productivity levels, and providing screenshots every 10 minutes. This allows you to troubleshoot any potential issue that may arise. 3. Motivation and initiative. Time zones and busy schedules sometimes prevent you from replying to your employee promptly. You'll want an employee who understands that a project can't be delayed just because they aren't sure what to do. An awesome employee will ask questions beforehand so they can make intelligent decisions during crucial moments. 4. Motivated employees are eager to learn. People who love what they're doing want to be good at it. A motivated employee will want to keep up with current SEO standards, constantly evolving design trends, or new marketing techniques. 2. Trustworthiness. Trust is essential in any working relationship. This is especially true if you're hiring for a position that handles sensitive information, like a personal assistant, a bookkeeper, or an accountant. Even giving employees access to your website or social media accounts requires a certain degree of trust. Additionally, you'll want an employee who is honest about their work hours, one who updates you on their progress and any challenges they may be facing. Otherwise, problems won't get solved, and progress will be slow. Of course, it's difficult to judge trustworthiness based on a resume and an interview. Consider requesting that your job applicants provide you with 2 personal and 2 professional references. You can then ask those references for examples that demonstrate the applicant's work ethic, cultural fit, and trustworthiness. Employees should be able to make mature decisions. Virtual workers oversee their own time. so they need to be capable of deciding how best to spend their day, which tasks they should prioritize, and when to take a break and recharge. Communication is always key. An awesome employee should be prompt when it comes to communicating. Hire an employee who replies as soon as they are able. Ideally, you want to hire someone who is willing to work, or at the very least accept calls, during US hours. They also shouldn't delay reporting any problems they encountered or may have caused, even if it means facing your disappointment. Number 3. Efficiency. Efficiency should trump speed. It's not enough to get things done as quickly as possible. Your employee's goal should be to produce the best results in the shortest amount of time. Quality should never be compromised. Efficient employees are punctual. To make the best out of one's time, one needs to be on time. Whether it's working during the hours you set for them or meeting project deadlines, awesome employees should never be late. And if they're running into problems, they need to tell you before the deadline. The ideal employee has a strong technical aptitude. Working remotely means working with technology. Awesome employees will have the aptitude to work with most of the technology required in day-to-day operations. They should also have the initiative to learn if they aren't familiar with the software. Prior experience is a plus. While it's not always possible, hiring someone who has already worked on a remote job before can be an asset to the company. Their familiarity with working with a remote team will mean a quicker adjustment period for the employee. They are prepared for power outages, internet connectivity issues, and other routine problems. So, the best practices for hiring awesome employees. It can be difficult to spot an awesome employee from the get-go, so here are some tips on how to find the right virtual employee for you. Number 1. Ask the right questions. Not all good workers are good remote workers. Some people just don't have the self-discipline needed to avoid distractions. During your interview, ask questions that will reveal how well of a remote worker the applicant is. Here are a few examples. Number 1. Have you had experience working remotely before? Number 2. How do you work alone? What is your process of accomplishing? 3. What's your ideal type of working environment? 4. Tell me about a time you had to deal with an unreliable internet connection on a day you had an important deadline. Number 5. Tell me about a time when you had to rely on written communication to get your ideas across to your team. Number 6. Do you have anything or anyone in your home work environment that may cause a distraction? Try to tailor your questions to the job as much as possible. Give them hypothetical situations such as, what will you do if the angry customer you are chatting with demands to talk to a superior and no one else is working at the time? Number 2, make sure you're their priority. If the employee you hired seems to be overworked, even though they only work 4 hours a day for you, then it's in your interest to ask them why. Some remote workers take on more than one client at a time. Freelance workers, writers, graphic designers, software developers, etc., often take on side projects to help pay their bills. If the job demands them to work full-time, make sure that your job applicants know they shouldn't accommodate other work opportunities while they're working for you. For instance, some publications have a contract that specifically forbids their writers to provide content for a different publication or blog. Number 3, ask about their workspace. If the job requires peace and quiet, make sure the job applicant is able to work in a peaceful and quiet workspace, particularly if the job requires focus and concentration, such as customer service, content production, graphic design, or software development. Additionally, if you're hiring workers from developing countries like the Philippines, you should ask about how reliable their internet connection is. Ask your job applicant if they have a backup internet connection before hiring them. Number 4, never settle. You might find yourself having to decide between number 1, a person who is good at task A but bad at task B. 2, a person who is bad at task A but good at task B. If this is the case, or if you find your final list of applicants to be unsatisfactory, don't settle. Hiring them is an investment of your time and energy. If they're not the right fit for the company, then they'll likely quit or get fired in a matter of months anyway. Try posting another job ad, browsing through resumes yourself, or getting someone else to find an employee for you. Remember, there's never a shortage of skilled job seekers on the internet. Keep trying and do not settle for a worker who only kind of fits. Number 5, trust your gut. When it's down to 2 outstanding candidates with similarly excellent resumes, go with your gut. Don't doubt your instincts. No one else knows your business like you do, and it's possible your brain has subconsciously picked up on good signs from one candidate without you realizing what exactly those signs are. Now that you know what to look for, You can start searching for the right remote employee for your company. With a bit of patience, you'll be able to welcome the newest addition to your growing team. What do you look for in an ideal employee? Feel free to drop us a message in the comments. In the description below, you will find a link to our favorite job board, Online Jobs. Hope this has been helpful. See you in the next video.